Hello, welcome to another one of my videos. This time I'm going to show you how to make booze in your own kitchen. Very easy. It's summertime. People like a nice refreshing cold drink. Sometimes like to be alcoholic. So what you're going to need, first of all, it's ghetto style, but it'll work for you. First, what you're going to need is an empty 2-liter bottle. All your tools and stuff should be meticulously cleaned. Pen and paper, we'll get to that in a minute, and an airlock. If you don't have an airlock, you can simply take the cap of your bottle and put, you probably can't see it, but there's a pinhole in it, just enough for air to get out. If you don't want to do that, or you don't have a pin or a pen or anything to put a hole in that, you could take box tape or saran wrap, cover the top, put a pinhole in that. Done. Okay? You're going to need a measuring cup as well. I have that washed out, or you can just use the can, it'll be fine. Okay, so now what most people aren't aware is 17 grams of sugar in 1 liter of water will brew to 1% of alcohol, right? So we're going to be making 1.5 liters. It's going to be 25 grams for 1% in our mix, right? So we've looked at the size of the can. I've gone with peach flavor. The size of the can is 355 grams, milliliters, and it takes, in 1 cup you have 32 grams of sugar per each cup prepared. Okay, make sure it says prepared. So what we have is, we're going to add 3 cups of water. So I'm going to round it up from 1480 up to 1500 milliliters. It's 1.5 liters. So now I divided that by 250 to get 6 cups, right? Because it says here you have to do it by what it says on here. 250 mils is 1 cup, so we have 6 cups of total juice times the 32 grams of sugar. So that means there's 192 grams of sugar in our final mix. So we divided that by 25, because if you remember, 17 and then 1/2 liter is 8, and add that together gives you 25 to 1%. We divided the 192 by 25, right? That gave us 175 with the remainder of 17. Okay, so now if you look here, that goes in there 7 times with the remainder, which is about 3/4 of 25. So the final product will be 7.75% alcohol. Now you can go up higher if you want, by adding 25 grams of sugar in your mix. If you look at the side of white sugar, so if you look at the side here, I don't know if you can read that, but 1 teaspoon is 4 grams of sugar, and 4 grams of sugar by weight is 4 grams of actual sugar. Common sense, right? So that means for every 5, we'll say 6 teaspoons of sugar, of this white sugar, you're going to increase this by another 1% alcohol. Okay, but don't go over 10 or 12. If you go over 12, what's going to happen is the yeast can't handle the concentration and they just die. To get higher than that, you have to use a method called distillation. We don't do that here. So if you want to increase that to 10, 11%, go ahead. 7.75 is a good range for a nice summer wine. So we're just going to leave it there. So now I'm going to do the mix, and then I'll get back to you. Alright, welcome back. So these are raisins. I'm going to explain these in a second. Now I have it all mixed up. 1.5 liters of final juice. What you want to do is you want to make sure it's warm and not cold, because you can kill any yeast you put in there. Right? What I have here is some wine yeast, but you can use beer yeast. You can also use bread yeast, believe it or not, it'll work. So you can go ahead and use some bread yeast if you want to. Bread yeast, it's going to need some aging, more so than if you were to use beer or wine yeast. But once you've aged it, the taste goes away after a couple weeks, and you won't even taste it no more. If you don't mind the light taste it adds, then you could just drink it with it in there anyway. Doesn't matter. Now, yeast performs poorly in a mix such as this because there's no nutrients for it. However, the sugar is fuel to it. It lives on it, but it doesn't have any micronutrients. That's where the raisins come in. You add about 5 to 6 raisins. And these raisins add micronutrients to the mix. Okay? You can add more if you want to. I'm going to just go ahead and add everything I have here. I think I put about 20. Remember to make sure your counter's clean because you don't want your raisins getting dirty before you put them in. And then add your yeast. Back in a sec. Alright, yeast in the bottle. Simple as that. Raisins will sink at first, but they will float. Now, you have to make sure, if I don't remember if I said in the last clip, make sure this isn't too hot or too cold, or you're going to kill the yeast. Now, what you want to do is you want to put whatever airlock you made on top, or tape it, or whatever you chose to do. Cover your hole, and just mix it. Get that yeast mixed up. Now it's stored in a cool, dark place. Check it in 24 hours. If it hasn't started to bubble, you might have killed the yeast. Add some more, and then check again in another 24 hours. Once it starts bubbling, it takes between 14 to 25 days, and you're good to go. You can drink it right then and there if you want, although it's going to taste kind of yeasty unless you age it. So I suggest you just age it a bit, and then enjoy your cool summer drink. I chose peach, so I don't know, peach schnapps. Nah, it'll be more like a peach wine, but it'll still be very good. Serve however you want. Probably chilled is best. And oh, I forgot, you don't want to oxidize it. Make sure it's dark wherever you store it. Other than that, you're good. This is my my current actual batch. Professional airlock. You see the raisins in there. This is a mead, a very dark beer. All grain, baby. No can mixes here. There's a 25-liter carboy. Peace out and good luck. Enjoy.